What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Patch Notes with myself, Daz the Ghost, and Prince Ali. What's going
Sorry.
on, Al?
Mike fell over. That's what that loud noise was.
We're keeping that in. We're keeping that in. I just
I'm
talked with
good.
production. We're keeping it in.
I'm good, Daz.
Did you I was about to say, it sounded like a car crashed through your house for a second there.
No. Yeah. No, one didn't. It was my microphone falling on my wooden desk.
Oh my god. Dude, it has been a while. So first off, we should probably at least mention sometimes scheduling is weird. Believe it or not, we do have lives or unlives outside of all this stuff. And we had some scheduling issues. I would say it was just life got really busy. So sometimes that might happen. That's okay. It's not like we're going anywhere permanently. At least not without saying something.
Yeah. Yeah. Life was busy past 2 weeks, and
Oh yeah.
but we're back.
We're back. We're back, and we also kind of changed our recording schedule a little bit, which made things weird. But we kind of like got that on handle now, on deck, if you will. So things should return to normal pretty.
We're locked
soon.
in, as the kids say nowadays.
Dude, locked in. I'm drinking my Loctite at levels previously thought to be theoretical. It's okay. We're ready.
Jesus.
What? Hey, can we get sponsored by Loctite production?
What is Loctite? Is that even a thing, or is that you just being dumb?
No, Loctite's a type of super glue. Editors, can we get Loctite on the screen here? Can we just put that like right on top of my head?
Stop giving Josh things to do. He's gonna beat us up next time. Actually, no,
That'd be great. He'll beat me up.
Yeah. And then I'll beat him up, and then you'll beat me up for beating him up, and then it's just
exactly. It's an endless cycle of.
I'll fight you guys right now. That's what I'm gonna do.
I'll beat your ass tomorrow. I see you tomorrow, boy. I'll beat your ass tomorrow in the parking lot.
And you're gonna bite his ass?
Come on, let's fucking go.
Wait, you guys are meeting up and I didn't get the invite? This is bullshit.
You did get the invite. You're
wait, that's right, I did.
Being
I
a
am just
meathead.
busy. God damn it. Yeah. That's all right. I fucked up.
I want that
My
on the
fault.
record. I want that on record that he was invited, and he's trying to gaslight us into saying that he wasn't, even though gaslighting
Oh no, I'm
isn't
just
real.
super dumb. I just forget things. Like, you know this by now. I'm a fucking goldfish, man.
Yep.
If I don't put it on my calendar, I forget. Like, I said yes, then I was like, fuck! I just checked my calendar. I completely forgot I'm having people over at my crypt.
Yep.
But here we'll keep her going, right? We'll keep her going. Why don't we talk a little bit about what we've been playing since we last?
Hearthstone.
Oh yeah.
Hearthstone. I'm still that guy. I can still climb the ranks of Hearthstone, even after not really playing the rank system for a really long time. But your boy's at gold 8 right now.
It's all right. You got some time to catch up to me. I am in plat again. It looks like I might get diamond this season, so that'd be really cool.
It's pretty fire,
right?
But you know what else
about
Hearthstone? We usually play Hearthstone together, Battlegrounds, but
it's like an addiction at this point. It's probably bad for my health.
But usually, we had to fight each other a few times, and
yeah,
it was very sad. But
it was very sad.
Hearthstone just released duos.
They did. I remember I was like, "Yo, Al, check this shit out! It's finally coming out next patch," and you were like, "What? What the fuck is this?" Because they like sneak released it in like a itty bitty sneak peek like 2 years ago, and then just said nothing.
Yep.
And then last patch, before they took out, I believe it's arenas, they said that some new thing was gonna replace it.
Yeah.
And here we are.
And your boy had a doctor's appointment on Tuesday, so I was home most of the day. And I texted Daz, and I was like, good sir, the Duos has released. And he goes, booting up the PC.
Oh, yeah, I dropped everything. I was like, hey,
we played for way too long. We played
for 6 hours.
Yeah, we played for so long. And,
yeah, no, I think it was like 11 o'clock by the time we stopped. It was.
Oh, yeah, I was like, all right, this is the last one.
And I was like, but what about one more? And you're like, no, we're ending on a dub. We're ending on a dub, Daz. Okay, relax.
And you're like, but one more? And I go, no, I have work tomorrow morning.
I was like, oh.
But that's what I've been playing. I've been Hearthstoning it up.
Hell yeah, man.
It's so good.
I mean, obviously Hearthstone. We've been playing that together. Some Monopoly Go, because you got me into that. And I know you're playing some Monopoly Go.
Yep. I mean, that's always going to be what I'm playing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just a really nice, like, turn off my brain. I've got 5 minutes instead of, like, Hearthstone where I need, like, at least 20, usually.
Yep.
Because I play a lot of control decks. That being said, moving forward towards what I've been playing, I'm getting ready for Evo. Al and I are going to Evo. If you're there, hit us up. Say hi.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised when I'm not nearly as undead in person as I am online.
Yeah, don't be surprised if I'm not. I am still brown. I'm just not a penguin. I am about as tall as a penguin,
We're
though.
working on
I'm
it,
not that
though.
tall, but I might
We are
have
working
some
on it.
sombrero. Who knows? We'll see. Put
But,
that in
yeah.
my check bag, a fucking sombrero.
Oh my god, and then you get searched and it's terrible and it's really awkward, and then I get a text where you're like, I fought TSA, sorry, I'm not gonna make it to Evo, and then I cry.
Yep. And then I can't get you into the B&B.
I know. So it's just, if you need someone to fight them, you just let me know.
Yeah. But I know you were streaming some Tekken earlier.
I was.
Prep.
I'm prepping,
He kind of nasty on the sticks.
I wouldn't say nasty. We're in that like fundamentals phase, relearning things. I haven't really played Tekken at all for like the past year, and I'm so rusty. And there's all these new things, and Tekken 8 is more offensive than defensive, whereas like Tekken 7 you could be defensive and be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay. Other than that, I've been playing some Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 because I hate myself. I've been playing Squad Galactic Contention, which is like hyper-realistic Star Wars battles. Super cool. And Total War Warhammer 3. Those have been kind of like my go-tos as of late. Total War Warhammer 3 is the turn-off brain since I finished StarCraft 2's entire 3 campaigns. And I tried Warcraft 3 and it just wasn't for me. The game runs like Garbo. But
StarCraft.
StarCraft's a lot of fun. Oh my god. Warcraft 3 is just the Reforged edition or whatever the hell is just really bad. But let's move on. Speaking of Blizzard, because I know we're kind of Blizzard fanboys in some ways, but I'm also a Blizzard hater. Blizzard says it's time to make a bold statement within World of Warcraft. Now, keep in mind, this is the same Blizzard that refuses to really make games anymore because a $15 mount made more in like 2 days than the entirety of StarCraft 2 sales. That's why we've seen them stop just doing anything with effort. But the quote here is, it's time to set ourselves up for the next 20 years. This year, they get their 10th expansion, The War Within. And it's just, the next expansion, nothing too crazy. I've been playing a little bit of World of Warcraft so that way I can understand what's going on for the podcast. And it doesn't really seem like super ground-shattering. It's not like Final Fantasy XIV's, I think it's Dawnbreakers, where they're completely revamping everything. It really feels as though World of Warcraft is just coasting, especially since Dragonflight, which added a lot of stuff people were asking for. It seems more like it's going to be quality of life, but nonetheless, I think what's nice about The War Within is it feels a lot like older WoW expansions where there's a new zone. I mean, they brought back some of the old writers, so I think they're in a really good spot to surprise me, but I am not holding my breath, especially because they've got this new thing called a Delve, which is a single-player story dungeon, which is pretty cool. But it's supposed to be released in late summer, early autumn. I think it's really cool. I'll link on my Twitter, and I think maybe we'll put it in the description, I don't know, on YouTube for this interview. It's really interesting if you're into WoW or have ever been in WoW, to give you a insider look and perspective on how communication is done within World of Warcraft's PR. And I think that's really cool.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, man. Do you want to take the next one? Or do you want to speak a little bit more about, like, WoW? Have you ever played WoW?
Never played WoW.
Really? Are you just not an MMO guy?
No, I'm an MMO guy. I just never caught my eye. My first, like, Blizzard game was Hearthstone, and I remember just, like, being like, I don't know what all these characters are. And so I looked into it, and I'm just like, man, this is a lot of lore. don't
Oh
want to play
yeah,
through this.
dude.
I was like, I
There's
don't
so
want to play through
much.
this.
Yeah, like the
But
most World of Warcraft I've played through is I was playing through the Wrath of the Lich King, and then I played Hearthstone and learned all these new cool lore things. So in a similar boat, I was like, "Yo, this is kind of cool. The
yeah,
writing seems all right."
I remember one of my mom's like coworkers was like, "Oh, your son's like into this and this. You should get him like World of Warcraft." And my mom was like, "We don't even have a computer, so no."
Well,
I was like,
also, I think it's such an alien concept to pay for a game every fucking month.
"Yeah,
So weird, especially like back in the day. Now it's a lot more like I would say sustainable and realistic and accepted. But my mom thought that was dumb. She's like, I'm gonna pay $15 a month for you to play a game that's not really changing for another 6 months, and you still have to buy the next expansion. She's like, I don't know. I don't know if
yeah."
we can do that. That sounds dumb. Like I do it now with Final Fantasy 14 and WoW right now, but that's just because I'm dumb. But that's okay. Also because I like having content to talk about on the podcast.
Kingdom Come 2. So
Yeah.
I it's been how many years has it been since the first one? I feel like a
I think
while,
it's been like
right?
6 or 7 because the first one came out and I was stoked because I saw it on Kickstarter, and I'm kind of a turbo nerd with medieval history, and I
Yeah.
love that it was so realistic in college when I was taking a intro to medieval history. Our textbook recognized Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 for historical accuracy, which is insane. It's a freaking video game. I figure you're going to talk a little bit about how it's coming out this year for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X. And they kind of just sneak dropped it out of nowhere. They were just like, hey, by the way, we've been working on this. Because I hadn't heard anything about this, and I loved Kingdom Come Deliverance 1. Did you play that?
I did. I played a little bit of it.
Hell
So
yeah.
it's really cool to see that this game is coming back because it's been so long. I mean, it's great to like it's been 6 years, right? And I love the
Yeah.
first game, and it was so much fun. And you know, uh, open world stuff, RPG, all this stuff. It's kind of like I will say this: Red Dead one of my favorite
Yeah.
games of all time. Great game, loved it. And then when they announced Red Dead 2 so many years later, I was like, oh, I'm buying that as soon as it comes out. So I think this game is gonna be like a Red Dead 2 for me. I might break a bone on purpose and just be off work for 2 months. Um,
That's the classic move. It's the
yeah,
classic
but
move.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this game brings, and especially it's been six. I mean, 6 years. PCs have changed a bunch. I mean, consoles in general have changed a bunch too. So I'm very excited to see what this game is going to be able to do, what it's going
What
to have.
I think the gaming landscape's changed a lot too, because indie developers are getting a lot more cred, like street cred, than even
Yep.
AAA developers now. Because, I mean, for instance, as a reminder, Warhorse, which are the people that make this game, Warhorse Studios,
Mm.
they originally had 11 employees when they started making Kingdom Come Deliverance. Now they have 250.
Damn.
And they said that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and this is a direct quote here just about, the world size has been doubled, story's longer, and a lot of the vision of the first game that they weren't quite able to capitalize on and deliver has finished because they have the resources and the time to really hunker down and finish it up. And I think that's amazing because I think my favorite part about the game was how the combat wasn't like For Honor where it's like rock, paper, scissors. It's hyper realistic. They studied actual medieval swordsmanship. Like, it's so cool. It's on that same level of The Witcher 3 for me, where like the realism of the combat itself, even with The Witcher 3 fighting like monsters and stuff, the swordsmanship is hyper realistic, which is so
Yeah.
freaking cool.
I'm excited to see. Can't wait to die because my parry skills suck, and I take a long sword to the chest.
And then you bleed out for 10 seconds before you fucking collapse.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But speaking of medieval sorts of things, Larian confirmed it's working on 2 new projects. And they're saying that it's going to be their best work ever. Now, keep in mind, Larian was working on a DLC. I think we covered that a couple episodes ago for Baldur's Gate 3. And they
Yep.
said that they didn't really feel like that was something that they were enjoying, and they don't work on things they don't enjoy, which I it's just so refreshing to hear.
Yeah.
It's so obvious when an artist, because that's what games are, they're art, doesn't like their craft anymore or doesn't like the subject matter because the art suffers. And I think that's why we get these crappy AAA studio games that just don't hit the mark so often, is because they've turned it into a commodity, not something beautiful. And kind of Larian really echoes that. I think what we're working on now will be our best effort or best work ever, says Swen Vink, the founder and CEO of Larian Studios. And they thought about Divinity Original Sin 3 being in this cards, and that's what a lot of people are saying, that it's entirely possible. But they were looking at their narrative, visual, and gameplay plans, and that's what kind of made them say that direct
Yeah.
quote. And I think what's incredibly interesting is they're not fighting for the Baldur's Gate IP at all. They want to be doing their own things, and I'm so excited because, as always, Larian Studios just continuously delivers W's.
Fat W's.
Oh, yeah.
And like
Do you want
Baldur's
me to
Gate
do...
3 was insane. So the fact that they're like,
Oh, yeah.
hey, we're working on something better. And I'm like, huh? Hold on. What do you mean?
Oh, yeah. Right? Yeah, because like, it won all 5 Game of the Year awards.
Yep.
If I remember correctly, that's either never been done before or has been done very infrequently, like less than 5.
No.
So the fact that they said it's better than Baldur's Gate 3 makes me kind of get a little weak in the knees. I don't know about you.
Yeah, and then at the same time, it's like we need, but at the same time, you're like, but like Baldur's Gate is so good. Because then, what if it comes out and it's like, you're just like, wow, this is boo boo.
Oh,
But
definitely. Like, I'm a big D&D nerd. You know this. I've been playing
yeah,
D&D and DMing since like 2014, when I was back in high school. And when I first saw Baldur's Gate 3, I was like, when it was still in alpha, like early access. Then a few months into early access, I saw the voice cast, immediately bought it. And I'm so glad to see Larian, as always, just not only delivering a fantastic product, but pushing the envelope past what they had before. And I'm not sure how they can push it even further, but,
yeah.
well, I guess we got to live a couple more years, at the very least, Al, because I want to see that game come out. While we're here, though, why don't I talk about some patch notes? It's patch notes time, everybody!
Josh, throw some trumpets on the screen
Heck
with
yeah.
confetti coming out of them.
I don't know about the confetti part. I feel like that would be really hard to put on, but the trumpets would be cool at the very least.
Yeah, just trumpets all around us.
They had Community Update 26. It's got evil endings and new beginnings. So if I remember correctly, you haven't really played a whole lot of Baldur's Gate because you're not.
I haven't played any
gamer.
of Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
I have 0 minutes and 0
But you've seen
hours.
the TikToks. You've seen the TikToks. You get the vibes.
Yeah, I've seen the TikToks.
The downside is because I recently started playing a Dark Urge playthrough, which is a character who I would say is more prone to evil than other characters, and there's not a whole lot of opportunity for evil that's long standing other than a few things in the game. So what's nice is they've taken back that feedback, and they are giving you not only improved evil endings, but even really dark conclusions. You can see that they've got the mind flayers here in the community patch notes. Looks like assailing an entire town that's on fire. We've got the Dark Urge walking through a plain of blood and skulls. It is so freaking cool. And I'm just really excited that they continuously show what all devs should be doing, which is listening to their frickin' community. It's so easy. Just open your ears. It's not hard. People love to bitch and moan. Just take the bitching and moaning that's constructive and use it. Or if everyone's bitching and moaning about something, I don't know, maybe just fix it. It's not hard. It's really not that hard. We live in an age where in 10 minutes I can figure out what someone really hates or what the community really hates about a certain game. Now, speaking about games that like to listen to their communities, why don't you tell us a little bit about Helldivers 2?
We got to talk about bugs, not those though, not those bugs. The bugs of the game itself. They keep finding them, and it's always really weird ones. It's what's insane. Like they're doing great on like giving us content and being better about rolling stuff out and letting us find out for ourselves the new stuff, but like they're running into a lot of bugs as well, which is really sad because sometimes the bugs are game breaking. One of them was for me. One was for some reason if you're running like a certain motherboard, it would hard lock your PC and just close everything out. You'd be able to play for like maybe 15, 20 minutes, and then the game would crash, and it still crashes sometimes just randomly. So you're like, oh, it's whatever, crash. It happened again. You're just like, okay, this is happening way too many times. And after the third one, you're just like, well, I don't want to play anymore because I'm not having fun. Because I'm like, okay, is this next 5 steps? Am I going to crash in these next 5 steps or not? And like he was saying, people love to bitch and moan, and it's not just a simple fix. Here you go. It is some work into it. They do have to like figure out what's wrong and okay, if we fix this part, will that keep everything fine or is it going to break more of it? But they are working their best on trying to figure out their bugs and fixing their bugs as quickly as they can so that everyone can keep playing and having fun for democracy.
Oh yeah, and I do have to give them some leeway here because it's important to remind yourself that Helldivers 2's dev team is pretty small. It's an indie dev. PlayStation just decided to really help back them. They're also using a game engine that's no longer supported. They have kind of Frankensteined their own version of the game engine together, and that's not to make it an excuse, but it's something that's important to keep in mind when it comes to these strange bugs. They're not getting the same updates that a engine like Unreal Engine 5 would be getting. And as much as I do love to hold devs accountable, I think at the same point, it's important to understand that they also were not expecting this game to do as well as it had. I loved Helldivers 1. It was a PS Plus freebie that I got at some point. And it's a good game, but it definitely was not nearly as popular as Helldivers 2. And they're still certainly feeling those growing pains. But at the same point, I think it's good that they're trying to keep that balance of delivering on what they promised, which was one war bond a month, but still allowing themselves time to fix things and make the game continue to have good health.
Yeah. I will say, I mean, each warband a month has been really cool. Because it's cool to see all these different things adding. But I'm just like, Jesus Christ, I don't have enough super credits for this.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not buying those credits. I'm not buying them. There's no need. If I can earn them, there's no need for me to buy them. That's what I also love about it, is that you can earn these credits just by playing the game.
Well, and I think that's what's extra nice about the devs is they understand that there's value in just having a game that is alive. Because although people like you and me might just play the game until we get enough super credits to get the next Warbond for free, because they're pretty generous. I would say in probably 10 hours of gameplay, you can have enough for your next Warbond. And if you're not playing 10 hours of gameplay in a month, you probably don't need to buy it either, right?
Yeah.
And I think what's extra nice about all these sentiments that we're kind of throwing around is this is a really rare PlayStation W. The direct quote here from Pilestedt, which is one of their higher ups here, is that the expectations from our friends at PlayStation are pretty simple. Make great game for players. We trust you. Mm-hmm. I also would say this is a game that I hope doesn't go to Xbox. I know I'm going to get like everybody screaming at me. That's okay. I'm going to say it with my whole chest. I think that because of how small the studio is, pushing it out to Xbox will make the entire game
so much harder
worse
for these teams.
Yeah, because it's going to be harder for them to keep up as a dev team, to keep up with stability, to keep up with balance patches, to keep up with, adding more content. I think, unfortunately, if you're an Xbox gamer, you're just out of luck, and I'm glad you are. Because the rest of us can hell dive like crazy, and maybe you guys can scream at Microsoft to make an ODST Helldivers. Because ODST is such an underutilized IP within the Halo universe, and that's pretty much all Helldivers are. While we're talking about developers, though, let's talk about how 70% of developers are concerned about sustainability of live service games. Now, I know what you're thinking. I may have purposefully been dropping a couple different live service games in here, and that's absolutely what my intent was. When we were looking at, when I was when I was looking for material for this episode, I saw this article and I went, okay, let me get some live service games and then just some really cool things because I didn't want it to just be a fuck live service games episode because I think live service games have their place, but the fact that every company is doing live service, you got Warner Brothers with Suicide Squad, and before that you had Square Enix with Marvel, Avengers. There's so many flops because they're just lazy. And I think that live service games has changed from a game that has great value and a wonderful community and that really depends on the community to keep pumping money into it to have beautiful updates come out. And now these AAA studios and just studios in general have confused that with I make live service game, make battle passes that are garbage that take forever to get through, and my players will play through them, and give me a shit ton of money hand over fist. And I think it's just overinflated. And the Game Developer Collective, which is a group of developers that put out surveys, agree. They think that there's not a whole lot of sustainability at this point. And I think a big part of that is, unfortunately, developers that are stuck underneath larger corporations that are greedy. What do you think, Al?
Yes. No, for real. It's like, why am I paying so much for this game and I'm not having fun and and it's just, come on, guys. Like, I get it, but if I'm handing you 3 hours of my workday, paycheck wise, I want to have fun.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the whole, like, I don't know. Fortnite Battle Pass, and then every other game had a Battle Pass. Games that don't even need a Battle Pass have Battle Passes. And it's just like...
I don't even mind a Battle Pass on a game that's good.
Yeah.
Like Hearthstone. We get the Battle Pass every time we're playing Hearthstone.
Yep, because it's
I
cool,
like Hearthstone.
cosmetics, it's fun.
It's a good game. And, we don't pay for the expansions anymore, so I want to pay into that ecosystem so that way the devs keep making things. Now, I know Blizzard sucks, and I don't like Blizzard all that much. I've made that really clear. New Blizzard kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But Hearthstone's good. Hearthstone is one of the last few old Blizzard-esque things that's come out. I think another really good example of a good live service game is GTA 5.
Yeah,
They're online as a
holy
live
shit,
service
dude.
game.
Dude, like, honestly, I think if it wasn't for how much, like, I can't think of what I'm thinking of. But
Take your time.
honestly,
Let's get the Jeopardy music out.
I think if Rockstar wanted to, they could be like, yeah, we're not making any more GTAs. 5 is where we're ending. I don't think a lot of people would be like, damn, that sucks. Because
I think people would be bummed, but they just keep adding shit. So
yeah,
I think the fact that it would stay at the level it is now also allows more people that are just on a normal.
I get a random ad, like I'm watching YouTube, and I'll get a random ad for the newest GTA expansion. I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's still a thing. Like, what do you mean? Like another online mission for $10? What?
Oh yeah, and what's nice is you don't even have to pay money into using all these new different things. You can just play the game, and there's so many different things to do in GTA 5. I know a lot of people are like, they're so penny pinching now. They don't give you as much cash as before. They give freebies like once every couple months. They have so much different content that if you really are just bummed that you can't play the new update, it's because you're not playing the old stuff enough, right?
Yeah.
You can get the heists, I think it's once a week, and make enough money where slowly but surely you can access new content, like an MMO. Because GTA 5, spoiler alert, is an MMO. That's what it's styled after. That's why it's so successful. It keeps you engaged. You keep doing, the same stuff kind of over and over, but they add new content regularly enough where you stay engaged. You don't have to spend $100 on shark cards to play the newest, greatest thing. Just be smart with your money in game, And I think that's why GTA 5, games like Final Fantasy 14, Helldivers are good live service games, and a bunch of different genres too. And I think, unfortunately, we're reaching the era of swapping back to paid DLC. I'm sure you remember when paid DLC started to become kind of taboo.
Oh yeah, I mean Black Ops 2, you know 4 DLCs you bought.
Oh yeah, Black Ops 3 had like 8.
Yeah. Oof. And if you want to bring back paid DLCs, fine, bring them back. But you know what I want coming back with paid DLCs? $2 camos. $2 for every gun, not just one. Every gun.
Oh yeah, and I think just paid cosmetics that are cheap would be nice.
Yeah, I don't want to grind 7,000 hours for a skin that looks slightly different from one other one.
I also just don't want to pay $15 for pixels on a screen.
You want to talk about pixels on a screen? The Godzilla King of Monsters. The fuck
Oh my god, dude!
It's $80.
It's $80,
It costs more than
just
the
a knife.
game.
It's just a knife, and it doesn't even like ragdoll people when you hit them. Like other knives have cool effects when you murder people with them. In Modern Warfare 3, the King Kong glove, literally just you punch them and they fucking fall down. It's so crazy and it's so lazy.
It's
$80
for a bundle.
$80? You gotta buy 2 bundles of skins and you get this piece of shit. Just not. I'm sorry. You drug that out.
You want to put your money into something? You put it into the new Invincible game that's supposed to come out. That's where I want you to put your money.
Absolutely.
You want to pay $80 on something? Put it into that. Because if you're paying $80 for a King Kong gauntlet, I'm robbing you if I ever see you in person.
Oh yeah. I'm glad that we got that that transition. Thank you for that. Yeah, I'm a big Invincible fan. I've nerded out a bit about it before. I've been reading the comics since I think about a year or two after they started coming out, if I remember correctly. I've got a picture of me somewhere where I bought it at the local comic shop. And first off, read the comics. They're fantastic.
They're great.
But this company called Skybound is attempting to kickstart a Invincible game made by the same people that did The Walking Dead.
And let me
it looks really freaking cool.
If you're worried about, this company's just going after the money, they've never worked on a game before. If you remember a couple episodes back, I talked about a mobile game I was playing. An Invincible mobile game. Guess who's making it? Same people. And I still play that game every day, right before bed.
They also kind of like show off some of the different things that were really successful. There were 2 Unreal Engine Fortnite Creator Mode games, Invincible Universe Doc Seismic Attacks, where you fought Doc Seismic, and Invincible Universe GDA Combat Training. And they achieved over 156,000 unique players in the first week of launch and been played over 204,000 times, which is crazy. And then, you've got Invincible Guardian the Globe by Ubisoft, like you were talking about. It's the mobile RPG. And Epic gave away Adam Eve Invincible Presents. It's a standalone visual novel, right? Clearly, this IP has legs, right? Yeah. Part of what they did was they made Telltale's The Walking Dead, right? Adventure game. And I think, like wholeheartedly, because these are also the same people who made all those other Invincible games and experiences. I think that this is going to be a hit. I really do. Now, I don't usually like supporting people who have any amount of holding by Tencent, but I think this is a exception. I really do.
Yeah.
Their goal is $5 million max. They already hit $500,000, and I think there's a chance that this becomes something huge. I really do.
I would hope so, because I'm loving the Invincible series. It's just so much fun to watch. I actually finished the series today's Friday, Wednesday night. I finished season 2. It was so behind, but man, was it good.
Well, and something I do want to point out here, though, for anybody who is interested in this, it's an investment. You're not going to get anything out of this other than potential when you pull out and get your money back. So as a heads up, the first time they did this last year, they raised over $18 million.
Jesus.
Which is crazy. That's an unreasonable amount for a game studio, I would say, like a small indie dev. So I'm not worried at all. They've definitely pushed out a bunch of different experiences with that money. I mean, they also apparently made Rise of the Sequids in Fortnite, which is super cool. And I think if you're going to invest in anyone, invest in Skybound. Obviously not actual sound investment advice. Don't listen to me. But I think it's really cool, and I think we should support the things that we like.
Yeah. Skype, I mean, they made that mobile game. I play it almost every night. It's fun. It's an auto. It does it itself. But the little story they have in there is great.
So, yeah, and it helps us hold over until season 3, which will happen sometime.
They've already finished recording the dialogue.
They have, but that's the part that takes the least amount of time.
Yeah. But it's nice to see that.
That is true. Now, I do want to talk about, before we go, this is one of my favorite sections that we kind of do, is some games that are coming out that we're, either excited for, interested in. And I've got a couple I'll point out here. I got a couple. So we got
what you got? Tell me.
Demon Slayer Monopoly. It's Demon Slayer, Kimetsu, no Yaiba, sweep the board. It is literally just Monopoly, Demon Slayer. If you like Monopoly, that's going to be a game to go for. Obviously, Prince Ali and I love it. And I think it's important to realize that Demon Slayer is an IP that's incredibly underutilized in video games, and I want to see more, so I'm going to buy it. And if that's wrong, I don't want to be right. We've got this game called Ghost of Tsushima. I'm not sure if you've heard it. Director's Cut.
Yeah.
PC.
Another one, and this is purely a joke. It's very rare we ever get anything content out of this group. Destiny has another raid coming out.
Ooh, no shot. I will say, I've been so bummed with Destiny's over monetization. I stopped supporting them. I used to have the Destiny Taken King PS4, bro.
Yeah.
I loved Destiny.
That's the last time I played Destiny, was the Taken King stuff. I don't know if I have any games that I know that are coming out that I'm like excited for.
I mean, we got Luigi's Mansion 2 HD coming out for the Switch. That's pretty freaking cool.
The last time I turned on my Switch, Evo 2023.
Fair enough. I think the only other thing that I'm like super stoked that's really far out in the future, because keep in mind we are in that era of games where, or not that era, the time of the year of games where things are getting a little light. Star Wars Outlaws comes out August 30th. It's not that far out. That's 4 months. I'm really excited.
Yeah, but they have all these weird DLC Battle Pass stuff they're doing.
Yeah, man. I don't like the DLC situation. I'm just going to wait until the DLC comes out to see if I want to buy it or not.
Yeah. I think Josh sent me some stuff about it, and I was like, wow, that's cringe.
You know what? I think next week, we'll put a pin on this. Next week, we're talking about bad DLC practices and pre-order practices.
And we'll have Josh on, because I know for a fact he's going to want to talk about this Star Wars shit.
Oh, hell yeah. Him and I are big turbo geeks.
Nerds.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But I will say, thank you guys so much for joining us this week. Reminder, we are on Spotify and YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify, leave us a review. It would help out a lot. We want to hear what you guys are thinking. Thank you guys so much.
Hit us up on Twitter, man.
Twitter. Yeah.
If you have any sort of, things you want us to talk about, things you think we missed, things we messed up, shoot us a DM. Shoot us a tweet. I'm at Daz the Ghost on Twitter. I believe you're at Prince_Ali. That's AL.
Yep. And then, I mean, even if you can't find ours, you can just, on our main page, send it to our main Twitter, the Zeros to Heroes Twitter. And, we all have access to that, so we'll see it.
And if you see us out and about at cons, too, don't be afraid to say hi.
It's summer season. So, right. We'll definitely... I know this isn't exactly gaming related, but it is Zeros to Heroes. We definitely have some cons coming up, and then make sure to check out our pages for that one. We'll talk about them. We're very excited.
Yeah, we have fun panels. We are based in Texas, as a heads up for listeners outside of Texas. But if you're in the area, come say hi. We're absolutely just as stupid and funny in person as over the air. But without any further ado, Josh, cue the music!